Welcome, friends. I'm Gina Nicole, and this is the Goddess Channel, where we awaken our spiritual awareness, connect from our hearts, and amplify goodness in the world through channeled messages we co-create together with Spirit. Today's message is a frequency transmission from Archangel Michael, one that speaks directly to the way many of us have been taught to define power. I think you may find this message subtle, elegant, and I believe it's here to reorient the way that you hold yourself in your light. I love it. So, let's begin. Empowerment doesn't come from being against something. It comes from remembering the truth of your divine nature so fully that being against anything becomes unnecessary. So we'll just allow that to settle in for a moment, because this isn't spiritual bypassing. This is spiritual clarity. That is to say, you weren't sent here to battle illusion, right? You were sent here to stand in truth so fully that illusion collapses by its own weight because you've withdrawn your participation. Because the only things you can truly be against, and I know this is kind of sounding philosophical, metaphysical, whatever you want to say, but as always, you don't need to get these words totally that are channeled. Just let this wash over you, okay? The only things you can truly be against are illusions, by definition. Illusion, by its very nature, can't hold power. It requires your energy to exist. It requires your resistance, your fight, your fear, your interest, your attention. The moment you stop being against it, against anything, you stop feeding it. And in that absence of resistance, illusion dissolves. Because illusion only survives through agreement. That's why empowerment in its highest form is not reactive. It's not a push. It's not a fight. It's not a declaration of what you're no longer tolerating. That kind of empowerment still carries shadow. It still feeds what it's trying to dismantle. Whereas real empowerment is non-reactive. It's born from remembrance, where you don't have to push against anything because you're anchored in something eternal. And this is what Archangel Michael is transmitting for us today. That your true spiritual strength comes not from opposition, but from coherence with your own divine essence. You don't have to define yourself by what you reject. You can define yourself by what you are. Love, freedom, light, compassion, gratitude. And in that frequency, suddenly illusion is irrelevant. The shadow is illuminated. Not because you deny its impact, but because you no longer agree to its authority. Period. So here's today's invitation. Would you love to stand in your truth without needing something to oppose? Will you release the charge of the fight and trust that your presence is what's required to recalibrate the space? Because it is. The truth. And I invite you to notice if you can sense this within your being. The truth is that when you drop being against something, you are no longer in reaction. You are in remembrance. And that's where the miracle happens. Not because you overpowered the darkness, but because you stopped believing it had any power to begin with. Just letting that settle in. I thank you for receiving this message. I thank you for co-creating this message. And I invite you to subscribe to this channel if you would like to anchor your energy here and be a contributor to this growing field of light. Until next time, know this. You never had to be against anything to be powerful, because you already are. Have a beautiful day. I love you.